Hello and welcome to the Bella Backstage podcast, where we talk about the ins and outs of the entertainment industry. Today, I have Carli with me.
Hi.
And I'm very excited for you to get to know her. And let's get into it. Get into acting.
Good question. And we're already friends. Like right when we met, guys, it's all good. Yeah, we're besties. Okay. So good question, Bella. So getting into acting, growing up, I did a lot of background acting as a kid. Like my mom would take me and like do extra work and stuff. And I also did theater too, a little bit here and there. At like local theaters and also at my school. But mostly I did dance my whole life. And then when COVID hit, I was also really into the health field too, so I was kind of going into that, and I didn't feel as passionate about the health field as I thought I would be. So I was like, you know what, like I am really comfortable in a creative industry. So I was like, okay, like I'm really interested in like getting into modeling, and then the modeling kind of led me more into acting, you know. Yeah, my parents, they actually had friends who their kids were also into like the acting industry, so my mom kind of was like my agent kind of, and led me into like, you know, doing extra work, being on set and whatnot. You know, they always would encourage me to be creative, and I also was really into dance at a time as well until COVID. So when I went into more of like the modeling acting world now, like, you know, they'll ask me questions about it. Like it is sometimes like now that I'm getting older, it's like, okay, like the questions about, okay, like is this an industry you want to continue being in, like, you know, the stereotypical of like, okay, is it secure enough for you, you know? So there's, of course, I understand the concern of like parents and their kids, like maybe not a secure industry all the time, but they do encourage me. They always ask me like, oh, how's acting class going, oh, like about the job that I just did and whatnot. So it's still a really healthy conversation that we still have. Graduated Cal State Long Beach with a health science degree.
Oh, we're rivals. I'm from Cal State Fullerton.
Oh, Fullerton. Ew. No.
Just kidding.
No, yeah. So I graduated Cal State Long Beach last year, 2023, with health science degree.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because you mentioned COVID, yeah.
Yes, and then COVID, yes. And so since I graduated, I've been just doing social media, modeling, acting, like full time, basically. Yeah, it's been a great experience for me. I've done like, because I kind of started getting into it 2022, so like you know, really trying to like network, like really like feel the being on set and like learning and like growing and like seeing like, okay, like how can I be bookable, how can I get signed, how can I get casted. So it's been a great learning experience, but since then, like I've been doing it.
What has been your favorite project in the entertainment industry, just in general? Your favorite set? Or
yeah, that's a really hard question. I feel like I've been like on some really great sets and really great experiences since I've been doing this. Just on the top of my head right now, like this year, I got the chance to do like a print commercial with Subaru. That was really fun. Yeah, I shot it in November actually, and it just came out like this month, like recently, but that was really fun. It was like an 11-hour set, but it didn't feel like long, you know what I mean? Like when I'm on a set with like great people, great talent, the crew, like we shot different scenarios of like playing pickleball and then going into our like new car and then shopping and whatnot. So like kind of playing that like, you know, everyday like girl lifestyle and stuff, and getting into my new car. So that was really fun. Another one this year was I shot with this like Uber, but it's for private jets.
Oh.
Yes, it's called FlyShare. I don't know, guys. It's crazy. It's like
interesting,
this whole process, but basically like that was my first time flying on a private jet, and then we flew to Arizona and like just shot there. Also a 12-hour day, but like also just great people, great crew, great talent, and like really bringing like their vision to life of like showing this product with like just everyday people, like kind of like making it more of an Uber and affordable.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't know when you're on set for like even commercial or acting, it's long days. Yes, and especially for commercial, like you said, you shot in November. It takes months. It takes years to get the stuff. Like they're not very like supportive of other actors, like up and coming actors. And so I feel like, again, that's why I want to network and show people like, hey, I'm open to helping other people out. But yeah, definitely long days on sets and all of that.
Yeah, and on top of that, what you just said, like also like gatekeeping.
Yeah,
like in a sense, like I love like following other people that are in like the industry or in the creative space and like seeing their work and whatnot, because that's a good network to have. But then also like people gatekeeping of like how they got casted or how they got started or casted or like just being kind of
agencies,
like
all of
and
it.
like I love that you know this podcast that you started to do that, but also like I love also expressing that on my social media. Like I feel like a lot of people DM me about like starting out, like especially modeling, but like being like on the shorter side and like tips and how to get started. So I love that.
Being on the topic of being in the entertainment industry and also being on social media, what do you think for like, I know everyone has their own idea, and especially for agencies about posting on social media, but in your personal like preference or your, I should say, experiences, what do you think people that are trying to get into the entertainment industry, like actors, what should they post on social media? Should they be posting on Instagram, on all platforms, on TikTok? Like, what should they be posting in order to get into the industry?
Yeah, so I do think social media has played such a big part into like castings nowadays. Like a lot of castings can ask, oh, what's your Instagram link, like your TikTok link or whatnot. So for me, I do treat my Instagram specifically like my portfolio. So I make sure to post my work, you know, have maybe like the bubbles and like show like, okay, this is like the print work, the acting work. And like I've gotten a lot of jobs from Instagram because someone has found me, DM'd me. I make sure I pin my post at the top of my page, for especially for actors. Like if you have any actual like scenes you've been working on, like it could just be a self-tape or something that you've actually done, like maybe a short film or like a clip from another like show or a TV show. Like I think just having that exposure that we have from social media can play a really great part in like your career. And not saying like social media is just gonna like level you up instantly like overnight, but it's nice to have that resource. So just posting your work and like what you do as an actor and as a model as well.
What are your feelings on not having Instagram and making it through just in the industry?
What are my feelings? Let's see. I feel like, you know, it's great to see someone that has made it big without like the help of social media. Like whatever you do to make it there, that's great. Like social media helped you along the way, that's amazing. If you didn't, like if you kind of just like did the maybe not the old school, but like, you know, just went, auditioned, got the job, kept growing, then that's great too. So I don't really have a specific like opinion, like okay, like comparing someone got there with social media and someone didn't. It just depends. Like if someone got there but with the help of social media, making sure they got that for a reason, like not just because they have clout and they're famous, but they actually have the skills and like the work ethic to get there. So whichever way, like if you worked your butt off to get there, then that's great.
If you made it big enough to where like you were super famous, would you ever delete your social media?
No, I think social media, like I enjoy it, like expressing myself, like building that community. So like making it big, like that's still providing a platform for people to still get to know you as an actor and like not hiding away from like I understand that celebrities and stuff they have an invasion of privacy through social media, so I understand that aspect, but I think for me like I would still be comfortable having social media.
In regards to more like acting for commercial or on screen, what are some things that are like an absolute no that you've seen on set or in actors' resumes, headshots, profiles?
Okay, so what are some big no's? So I would definitely say like if you're on set and they say you're not supposed to have your phones, like you signed an NDA or whatever, like don't have your phones. Like I've seen people get kicked out on sets because they want to post like where they're at and film and get that. No, like be professional when you're on set. Make sure you know you're following directions, like being alert, being attentive of like what's going on. Like even though you're on a break, make sure like you're still like working as a professional when you're on set. So definitely that, being on set, but also maybe like when you are creating your headshots, you're getting your profiles going on, like casting networks. I also encourage like everybody to make sure they have a versatility of photos, making sure their resume looks professional, making sure they have all their data and like measurements on their profiles, just making sure it's complete. Because when you send that to a casting and they see that's incomplete, especially for like a self-tape, you didn't say like where you're from, or you missed out on like it's supposed to be vertical instead of horizontal, let's just say it was like, if you're not following directions and they see that, they just say okay, like move on.
They're
like
not
she's not
serious
not serious. Like she didn't read the directions, she didn't read through like the self-tape instructions. So making sure like you just follow all the instructions you have.
Some listeners or watchers might not have an insight at all to how to get into acting. What are some ways you think or platforms that actors should use? I know there's like Actors Access. What platforms do you think actors should sign up for if they don't have an agent?
Yeah, so definitely for me, like I had that experience of not having an agent for a while and freelancing. So going on to tips of like helping them through that to get an agent, I would definitely say like to stay consistent on like applying yourself, submitting to castings, because no one's holding your hand. No one's gonna like tell you, okay, like do this and that. You gotta get in there especially without that support from an agent. It's all yourself, right? So
you have to be your own advocate.
Right, being consistent with that and being disciplined and making sure your portfolio's up to date, you have everything like complete, right? So the casting platforms I really like is Casting Networks. You know, that's probably like a standard. That's like the first one I got on. And then I also do like Backstage. I've gotten a lot of work from there. And Actors Access, I'm not too like on that as much, but I think Backstage, Casting Networks, maybe even some Facebook group chats. They post some postings. Instagram casting directors, they also post a lot of like jobs and stuff. So being disciplined with castings and submitting yourself to that, you know.
I think for me, all those and more, Actors Access, for me, I get a lot of theater auditions on there, and lots of student films, short films, which I think is a great way to build your portfolio as an actor. Do student films and submit. There's lots of USC ones on there, so if you have that name on your resume, it's a great for beginners in acting, you know, just getting in there. Also, there's a bunch of agencies for like background work and stuff. Those just be careful which ones you pick, because sometimes
can be scammy. Right?
Or like, you know, just making sure you're in clear communication about what you're getting with a background.
I think
agency.
Also Casting Networks is a great platform because also agencies can reach out to you. If you like to have that communication, if they want to sign you or like have a meeting with you or something and they see your work.
I've seen that on Actors Access and LA Casting. If you sign up and log in and sign up, you can actually put, I'm looking for agents. And then on Actors Access, you can pay a fee where they'll send out your whole portfolio and your whole listing on Actors Access. And they'll send it out to all of these agents and see if they want to sign with you. So that's an extra tip.
Okay, yes. She got the education right here.
Your experience with having curly hair on sets, are they inclusive or what's going on?
Yeah, girl. Okay, so let's get into that because I have been on sets, especially for hair campaigns, like specifically. Hair. Let's start with that example. So I've done a couple of hair campaigns where they want to show the different products. So at first, you know, I go in there and they want to see it just like naturally. So I'm like, okay, cool. But then I go in again to do another product. So the hairstylist, like she knew what she was doing with my curly hair. So she was wetting it, doing the whole curly hair routine. But they wanted me to already come on set and like do it. And the hairstylist was trying to explain to them like, that's not, you can't just like throw her in there. Her hair is not ready yet. Like, so that was a little bit like interesting to experience because like if you're going to represent curly hair products, understand the curly hair like process. It's not like straight hair where you can just like go back and forth and with different products. Like they also straightened it and then tried to do other different styles at the same. It was just kind of a lot. And then I've been on other sets where maybe not just a hair campaign, but just like a hairstylist didn't know how to do my hair. Like and I make sure to bring products for my hair because
and I think that's so unfair
in case,
for us.
like, just in case, because sometimes they don't know. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, I was on a campaign. They like casted me off my headshot. My headshot is like my hair how it is right now, but it's a little bit more like volumized. Okay. And I'm just like smiling, so you can obviously see a lot of my hair because it's on both sides of my shoulders. So they cast me off this picture like that. They literally just cast me off the picture. Okay. So rule number 1, have a great headshots.
Yeah. And that shows your natural look too. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get into that. But anyways, so they cast me off my headshot and I get in there and then I sit in the chair and then I'm in the hair for 2 hours and she's straightening my hair. No heat protectant, flat iron. And I'm like,
yeah, that's crazy. Like, especially like even like straightening normal hair, you should put heat protectant.
Difficult because definitely I wish like when I came on sets I didn't have to worry about bringing my own hair products all the time. Because honestly, like if you're gonna be called a hairstylist, you should be able to like style anyone's hair, and like be there for your talent.
So I definitely would consider myself content creator. Like So I kind of like that because I do a lot of UGC, so user generated content. So like not posting on my socials, which I have done for like influencing more with brands, but doing just like content for brands directly that they can post on their social media. So I consider myself a content creator, actor, and model, all three in one. But I do think social media has connected me with a lot of opportunities, people. You know, when I'm on set, we're always networking and exchanging Instagram specifically, because I feel like that's like where everybody kind of shows, like, you know, especially in the industry, like your portfolio, your new work, your opportunities, like just posting on that. So I do think social media kind of ties into like content creation in a way.
What's your advice to create a great portfolio for an actor?
That is a good question. I feel like a lot of people don't know what to put in their portfolio specifically. So for me, because I also have a modeling portfolio as well, like and then you have your platform. So for modeling and like also print and commercial acting and stuff, versatile photos in your portfolio. So making sure you have like, maybe can you represent fitness, can you represent beauty, can you represent high fashion, can you represent more of a smiley commercial like girl next door look. So making sure you have those photos, because when you see a casting that's like looking for a fitness model, fitness commercially look, you want to submit those photos to them, to that specific casting, so they can see your range.
Yeah.
I would love to keep continuing this and make it like full-time job, content creation, modeling, and acting, and also get into like the bigger levels, like a national, international campaign, being able to travel, but then also maybe be a part of like a campaign that, just as we have talked about before, like being a part of a campaign that just overall brings that diversity and the beauty standard into a broader range, and also inspiring people in some way. So like doing it in hair, doing it in beauty, like just showing that like diversity in a way. So definitely being part of like a campaign would be great like that. And then for acting, I am kind of more new to the TV and film world. I just started kind of doing acting classes, so definitely like building up into that, like doing more short films, going into like more of the bigger auditions. I do have an acting agency I kind of just signed with, but just building that resume and building that experience. So definitely I've been loving acting and TV, film acting recently, so I've been really inspired to get into that more, but just being able to balance everything, content creation, modeling, acting at the same time, for my career. That's for a while, like maybe a year and a half or so. And so for modeling, I made sure to have like those high quality digitals, right? So making sure, you know, I have like all the pictures that I need, like high quality, and then submitting to agencies. So showing them that I have worked, I have a portfolio, all my measurements, and making sure I'm submitting to the right agency. So are they size inclusive? Are they like, you know, what type of models do they have on their roster? Is it diverse? Am I gonna be able to like fit into that? But like not fit into their box, but like just so I make sure I have the right agent.
So you're
that
compatible with
them. Yeah,
them.
compatible, right?
Because an agent's supposed to be on your team. You're
on
not
your
supposed to
team,
work
exactly.
against each other.
A lot of people do just like sign you and then just put you on the shelf because like you're a diverse talent.
They want to have you,
but are they like really being
working
on your
team,
you, right? Being behind you, right? So making sure you have the quality pictures to submit to agencies at first, because you can't just go into it and be like, okay, I'm ready for an agent. Do you have the right pictures, or do you have that experience like to get an agent yet? And like making sure you are ready to put in that work, because not when you get an agent, it's not like magic and it's like, okay, now I'm booked and busy now.
Yeah,
it's not like
definitely.
Oh, like I'm ready now. It's not that. So high quality pictures, the work ethic, and especially for an acting agency can be a little bit more difficult. So I actually did a actor showcase for my acting class at 321 Acting Studios. So that can be another way where you just are already auditioning but presenting your work in front of a bunch of agents. So a lot of people have done like these showcases. So if you know, reputable showcases, right?
Here on Bella Backstage, we do a segment called Fact or Myth. And we want to hear from you a fact or a myth from the acting industry, modeling industry. Let us know.
Okay.
Let us know the tea.
Fact or myth. Once you get signed to an agency, you're good to go. You're booked and busy. They're going to be sending you out on castings that you can't even like keep track of. Okay. Actually, it's not the case. Once you get an agent, that doesn't mean
myth.
That's a myth. Let's just say that. Sorry, I'm gonna correct you. Once you get signed to an agency, it doesn't mean that right away you're gonna get booked and busy. They're gonna be sending you out on these castings. Like sometimes it is very a lot, like they'll send you out to castings, but then maybe the next month it's slow and they're not sending you out to castings. Like I've talked to a lot of models and actors that are like, oh yeah, I have a manager, I'm signed, but I don't hear from them. I get all my work by myself. I'm basically a freelancer, but I just do all the work. So
yeah, I get that. I feel like a lot of people always assume like you have the agent and the manager and then you don't have to put any more work in, but I think it's a complete opposite.
A common goal, like for like new models, new actors or whatever, like okay, like I'm in the industry, like first step is getting the agent. That's not the first step. Like you want to make sure you're, working on your craft, improving your skills, getting that experience, and then like eventually you can get an agent and having that support. But that's not the first step, Yes. There was this quote I saw somewhere. I don't even know. I was reading a book and it had some quote, but it was basically like a painter and they fell in love with painting and this passion, this creativity. But then the painter began to just think about, okay, what are the critics gonna say? How much am I gonna make off this painting? And they kind of like lost their like fire and their passion, and it just became harder for them to like continue painting. So you have to again remember like why you got into it, why you enjoy the passion and creativity. Like would you do this for free? Like would you continue doing your like job and your passion like if there was no money involved? Like just to make sure it's about that.
I think that's a great saying. Some things that you have going on in your career wise, personal life, anything exciting?
Okay, yeah. So definitely I'm like been re-inspired by this like past acting teacher I had a guest at my acting studio, and like the class was really great, and I feel like I just got re-inspired about acting and like auditioning and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to like working on some monologues coming up. I also just started a travel Instagram page. So so I've been like thinking about doing this for like a while because one, I've been really grateful to have gone to like a lot of different places in my life with friends and family, and like I want to just inspire people to like go out there, like try new activities, and also try new activities, but also just go to different cultures and experience these different cultures. So I just started that, just like kind of inspiring people to do bucket list experiences, maybe budget travel tips, like just overall that. And like I just love traveling, and I feel like that will just incorporate well with my lifestyle that I want to have. And other than that, I've been doing a lot of content creation, brand deals, being in studio with content creation, like for brands and stuff. So that's been really fun, and just keep on submitting to castings, guys. That's what you have to do. Like as a model and actor, keep on submitting to castings and making sure I'm consistent with that. So really excited for the journey ahead. And summer is ending, which I'm kind of sad about. So trying to live the summer life right now,
There's balance with everything in the industry. You have to take care of yourself and your mental health, but also making sure you're doing what you love.
Self-care, passion. That's what life should be about. Like I feel like I hear just so many adults or even my friends, like they're like, oh, like money and like doing a job that's just like for money. It's like, okay, like how long is that gonna last? Like you only live once. Like make sure you're even incorporating like a passion in there. Like if your passion's not your income, find it somewhere else, right?
Thank you, Carli, for coming on the podcast. Would you like to let everyone know where they can find you on social media?
Well, Bella, thanks for having me. And first of all, guys, I'm so inspired by her like about this podcast, because this is great for just people in the industry and getting into it. So once I saw her like I'm like, this is it. This is what's gonna really help and like help the industry overall. So again, but you guys can find me at carli.meacham on Instagram. I have a TikTok as well, Carli Meacham, and you guys can see my other travel page, Carli's Explore page.
She's doing everything.
I'm on Instagram, TikTok.
I love it.
Find me there. Okay.
Thank you so much for listening or watching to the Bella Backstage podcast. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much, Carli, for coming on.
Bye.
Bye.